It's called, I think, the butterfly syndrome. If a butterfly flaps its wings, it has these secondary consequences. This is all very complex. It's very complex for the human mind to think about those things.
Yes.
We're now having a situation where it can all be taken into consideration and be a thought partner that can actually go beyond our capacities to think about those relationships. And in thinking about those relationships and so on, it has an enormous impact. Somebody in medical area was giving me the example of learning about all the causes, but with the data that they're going to have on each one of us about what were our experiences and what is our diagnosis of each of the parts. And you watch that over time. What air do you breathe? What environment are you in? What stress are you in and all that? That there will be the understanding of these cause-effect relationships that in turn change things. And then you go down to the microscopic level of dealing with practically at the molecular or cell level in dealing with these problems, okay? The changing of DNA and these types of things. All of those, we are in the midst of a tremendous revolutionary change.
What about the field of economics? Can't you take kind of the art and the guessing out of it at this point? So you're saying, you have said many times, you've written a lot about it, but the need of governments to get down to 3% of GDP with their debt, so or else everything collapses. How do you do that? And all these political consequences, the population doesn't want less money spent on them. Obviously, you could get, governments falling and stuff. Wouldn't AI just solve that for you? You said it produces strategy. Does
AI control human nature?
No, but these are
human nature. My bet is that human nature is going to be the biggest force, and it's all going to come down to like how we are with each other.
I'm so glad, though. So there'll be room for human beings still, even as we're changing DNA and implanting chips in our brains and stuff.
Well, if not, we're lost, and if so, we're dealing with each other.
Yeah,
I don't know how well that's going to go either.
But I wonder, there's still debates. I mean, you're effectively an economist. The debates about supply side versus demand side, what is the near and far term effect of these economic policies?
We're going to be able to understand at a micro level how things work better.
Exactly.
Okay. So, by the way, again, I put out this study that shows the mechanics. And I want to convey that mechanics so everybody could see the mechanics. But you're going to go down to a molecular level. That means nowadays, we or policymakers like the Federal Reserve think about something like inflation.
Right.
And there'll be maybe 5 measures of inflation. And we're using the term inflation because our minds are limited in its capacity of the number of things we could think about.
Right.
When we're now in this new reality, which we now are, you can go down to a molecular level, essentially, and saying, I could see all the different transactions of what was bought and what was sold and why. And now I can really have a level of understanding. We don't have to be at this grand level that we don't. We're going to be at the molecular level of understanding individual transactions and what's affecting them, and be able to deploy resources at the individual molecular level, just like we can do it in biology or physical existence and so on.